Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 8 p.m. and this is a new edition of Panorama News. In the upcoming 45 minutes, we'll be bringing you the latest of the political, economic and sports news from all around the world. I'm Hani Saif. I'll be your host for tonight, and we'll start off with the political news, where President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi announced on Monday that the terrorist attack in St. Peter Church on Sunday was carried out by a suicide bomber. The president identified the suicide bomber as 22-year-old Mahmoud Shafiq Muhammad Mustafa, who wore an explosive belt. He noted that 3 men and a woman were arrested in connection to the attack, while search continued for others. Sisi said that the attack came as a move from desperate people after many failed attempts to undermine the country. The statements were made during a state funeral held for the victims. President Sisi and Pope Theodorus II, the Pope of Alexandria and the Patriarch of the Holy Apostolic See, led the state funeral held for the victims of Sunday's terrorist attack in St. Peter Church. The funeral was also attended by Prime Minister Sharif Ismail, as well as a number of ministers and high-ranking officials. Pope Theodorus II, the Pope of Alexandria and the Patriarch of the Holy Apostolic See, led prayers for the victims of Sunday's terrorist attack on St. Peter Church. The prayers were held at Virgin Mary and St. Athanasius Church in Nasr City District. Addressing the Mass, the Pope said that the attack is a painful incident not only to the Church but to the whole country, adding that all Egyptians share the grief. The Pope stressed the importance of national unity, praying for peace for Egypt and Egyptians. Pope Theodorus has earlier met with high-ranking bishops of the Coptic Orthodox Church to discuss the developments of the heinous attack right after cutting his trip to Greece and returning to Cairo. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi headed a security meeting on Monday to discuss the repercussions of Sunday's terrorist attack in the St. Peter's Chapel, which is adjacent to Abbasiyeh Cathedral. During the meeting, the president vowed retribution for the victims of the terrorist attack and stressed on the need to exert the utmost efforts to identify the culprits. Sisi stressed on the importance of uniting in the fight against terrorism. He said that such acts would only strengthen determination to fight terrorism and uproot it. The Grand Imam of Al-Azhar condemned the terrorist attack, stressing that such attack contradicts all the Islam rulings and all religions. Sheikh Ahmad al-Tayyib said the savagery attack has left wounds that are hard to sew in the hearts of both Muslims and Christians. His statement came during a speech before the summit of female parliament speakers in the UAE capital, Abu Dhabi. The Muslim Wise Men Council also reiterated Al-Azhar's condemnation to all acts of terrorism and violence, stressing their solidarity with the Egyptian Church. In a statement to the state TV issued on Monday, Minister of Endowment Dr. Mohammed Mukhtar Goma asserted that these terrorist attack operations target Egypt's security, adding that the Egyptian people will exit from this crisis strongly to face the different challenges in the country. Meanwhile, the Grand Mufti of Egypt, Dr. Shawi al-Lam, also reiterated that the Egyptian people, including Muslims and Christians, will stand together in a bid to counter terrorism. Speaker of the African Parliament, Roger Nkodo Dang, condemned terrorist bomb attack at Cairo's St. Peter's Church. This came during his meeting with Parliament Speaker Dr. Ali Abdelal on Monday, where he also offered his condolences to the victims' families. During the meeting, Nkodo said that Africa and the whole world are suffering from terrorism, adding that the priority of African parliaments is to hold legislative studies in a bid to combat terrorism and extremism. International and local legislatives concerning countering terrorism were also tackled during the meeting. Egypt's parliament issued a statement on Monday condemning the terrorist bomb attack at Cairo's St. Peter's Church, which left more than 23 people dead. Monday's session reviews urgent data about the attack. In another development, a large number of representatives urged to quickly finish the criminal measures law to be submitted to the Council as soon as possible. They also called to stiffen penalties relating to terrorism crimes. And Arab and world capitals and organizations condemned Sunday's terrorist attack. Secretary General of the Arab League, Ahmed Abul Ghait, and the Arab Parliament said that the incident is the latest in a series of terrorist attacks that hit the country during the last weeks. Saudi Arabia also condemned in the strongest words the terrorist attack. Kuwaiti Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Sabah, Jordan, the United Arab Emirates and Tunisia all asserted their rejection to such terrorist acts and their full solidarity with Egypt in facing such hateful crimes. Secretary General of the Gulf Cooperation Council, Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al-Zayani, also condemned the attack, saying that the act stands against all ethical and human principles. World leaders also offered their condemnation and condolences to President Sisi, including Russia's President Vladimir Putin and the French Foreign Ministry, as well as the European Union Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini. The United Nations Security Council condemned the attack and expressed solidarity with the victims' families. The African Union also denounced the attack and expressed solidarity with the Egyptian government and people. Egypt received on Monday a modern submarine from Germany. The submarine is the first among several ones that will join the Egyptian Navy. Commander of Egypt's Sea Forces, General Osama Munir Rabia, has raised the Egyptian flag above the new submarine. The new submarine is considered a significant addition to the Navy, which will protect the Egyptian coast and territorial waters. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said there had been a suspected gas attack in Daesh militants' held territory near Palmyra on Monday, amid heavy aerial bombardment of the same area, which together killed at least 34 people. Citing local sources near the site of the attack in eastern Hama province, northwest of the ancient city of Palmyra, the observatory said there were cases of suffocation and that dozens had been wounded.